setup.
Yeah, we just flipped the angles here.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't going to do this backdrop, but then it wouldn't come back up. So
We had no choice.
everybody.
Guys, thanks for being patient with us. We're trying to down the audio. Haven't soundproofed this room at all. So, and Nate also touches his mic a lot. So
Apparently, I do that a lot. So I'll have my hands in my pockets.
It's okay.
And I also wasn't, for some reason, I wasn't prepared for the wide. So I'm just wearing some shorts with ripped up Vans with no socks today. You're looking good though.
Oh, thanks.
You look good.
Thanks.
What, this old thing?
Oh, this just threw us together. Oh, this custom shirt from Suit Supply.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Well, how you been, Jacob?
Been good, actually. Been good. Oh, for spoiler. Trying to think. Great. Had a great pickleball sesh last night, and then
Well, yeah, you had a great one.
did lose a few games, but still enjoyed those games.
Oh no, Dallin had a great one.
Dallin had a great night.
Dallin had a great night.
Pickleball. Been seeing some movies. Man, last night I watched The Shining.
Was this after pickleball?
Yeah.
At 1 a.m.?
I finished it at like 1:30. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's a
The
2.5 hour
Shining's
movie.
classic.
I've never watched it.
That was your first time?
Yeah. I didn't know how many memes came from that.
Yeah, what'd you
The
think?
frozen meme of Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was in The Shining.
Where he's hitting the axe through the
Yeah.
door. What about the scene where the elevator opens and it's just blood coming
Crazy.
through? That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I really enjoyed it, but I think it's something you have to grow up with
Yeah.
to really appreciate it. Because now
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, I saw that as original as it was, now so many movies after it have copied it
Yeah.
to kind of taint its originality. But it was the first to do it. And so I loved it. But yeah, I think what we've lost in 2025 filmmaking is the ability to just let people sit in a moment.
Yeah.
There was like the pacing is so slow, but that's because back then like you didn't have like short attention spans,
Right.
and so people can actually just enjoy really letting the scene kind of breathe for a second,
Right.
kind of feel immersed, and then those jump scares get you. Whereas now you have to keep people entertained every second.
the time.
Yeah,
Right.
so it was great. Jack Nicholson, probably his best role.
Remind me, how does it end? Doesn't she go crazy?
No,
She kills him with the axe?
no,
I can't remember how it ends.
they escape through a maze and he freezes to death.
That's right.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, it's been almost 50
I don't
years.
feel
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And then it's weird because then the very last shot zooms in on like the picture on the wall of the
A hotel.
of like the hotel staff 60 years ago, and Jack Nicholson's in that picture.
That's right.
And you're like,
What is that supposed to mean?
like the whole, I left my wedding ring at home. I just realized.
Everything all right?
Man, it's been bang. So yeah, you're kind of like, is he like a time traveler? Is it like a reincarnation thing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a
good.
while.
Creepy
I remember.
movie.
Yeah, I remember watching that when I was like 12.
Yeah,
Scary.
yeah.
The little twin girls riding their
Yeah, it
tricycles
was
around the
creepy.
hallway.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, it's not twin girls. It's the little boy.
The twins, and then there's the guy in the
Yeah, it's the little boy. And then
Yeah, because I saw Ready Player One. It's one of my favorite movies, and it references Shining heavily, and I never
Yeah.
understood the references.
Yeah.
So
Good movie though.
now I can rewatch
Good
that
movie.
one. I love
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, really
Yeah, so it's good. Good week. How are you?
Good. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, no. I'm
Car in the shop today or something?
Oh, yeah, dude. Man, actually, I'm terrible. If there's one thing I hate, it's car maintenance, man. Yeah, I had to take it into Costco Tire Center, the Elantra.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's my question.
Yeah, hit me.
I feel like you've been putting this through maintenance for years now.
The Elantra?
Yeah.
Not so
If
much.
you add up all the maintenance, shouldn't you just buy
Buy a new car.
no maintenance?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not paying anything for that car. That car's paid off.
Yeah.
So I don't mind, a couple $100 every year or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And that's the thing. Costco Tire Center, biggest hack.
Yeah, it
because the tire that I had to get replaced, first off, I took it to a place and they're like, yeah, there's a nail by the rim, so we can't replace it. You got to do all tires. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take it to Costco. So I took it back to Costco where I got my tires 2 years ago. And I said, hey, there's a nail in it. Can I swap it? Yeah. Swap it. No charge.
Wow.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, that actually didn't cost anything. But no, I'm going to drive that Elantra into the ground.
I feel like it's in the ground.
No, that thing is cranking.
I don't know. I feel like it's
170,000
I feel like
miles
we're
on that thing, and we are cruising.
All right.
But yeah, maybe I won't take it on a long road trip though.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of at that point.
Yeah.
But I love that thing.
Yeah.
But no, everything's great for me.
Well, I'm excited for today's episode.
Yeah. Let me tell you what we got going on today. So if you go on TikTok and you just type in wedding videographer, you would hope that it's good, positive, uplifting things, right? Which there are. There are a lot of good wedding videos.
Sure.
But I would say if you just scroll for a couple of scrolls, there's a good amount of horror stories from brides' perspectives. And you always know it because the thumbnail is just a girl just sitting there. It says wedding videographer text, and you're just like, dang, this is going to be bad. So today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be watching a couple TikToks, maybe just 1, 2. We'll see how long we can last here. But the first one is about a wedding videographer who ghosted a bride. And there's a lot of good teaching moments, and I would say there's good and bad things to be said.
And she drops his name.
She does drop the name. Yeah. So we'll drop the name as well. But it sounds like this videographer no longer has his account up because I tried to look it up and it's not there.
Oh, he's up a few days ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Maybe he shadow banned me for no reason, maybe. But yeah, it's not there. So we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna pause it if we feel like talking about it, and then we'll just riff.
Okay. The worst videographer story I saw on TikTok it's old now. Is that girl who got her video back and it has like she's like watching on the TV. It's like the titles.
Oh yeah, she's like
it's like in
8,000
480p. Yeah, horrible. All right.
Yeah.
I guess we let it play through for editing wise. That way Taryn can just overlay it.
Yep.
We'll just react live.
All right.
And turn the volume down so we can overlay it nicely.
Well, how are we gonna hear it?
Not all the way down,
Okay,
just quiet enough.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so first of all, who's this posting this? So we can give credit. Maybe a little louder.
So this is Callie Stillman Foot.
Maybe a little louder. Okay, let's do that.
All right, let's start this over.
Okay. All right, you guys. We're about to tear this videographer to shreds.
Okay. I don't even know how to start this story time because I can't believe I actually have to make it. And hopefully I don't get upset because right now I'm really just pissed.
Okay.
But my wedding videographer ghosted me.
Processing videographer
don't
properly.
Have a completed wedding video.
Awful.
Dang.
Mind you, my wedding was in August of 2024. So it is now going to be coming up on a year.
Yeah, she just posted this. She just posted this in April, end of April.
I don't even know how to explain this. I'm definitely going to have to do this in parts. But I'll try and summarize this as quickly as I can. I didn't think I was going to be able to spend the money on a videographer.
Dang.
And I decided that I just need to go for it because I really, really, really wanted to prioritizing photos and videos of my wedding. All I wanted was to have these memories of all the people I love at the best day of my life.
Yeah,
and
so sad.
I committed to it. I found a videographer who had just done someone I know's wedding and it looked beautiful. I was very picky.
That's surprising.
With my
sounds like it was a
vendors.
referral.
I had a vision. I wanted to stick to it. If I was going to spend the money, it was going to be exactly what I wanted. And this vendor fit that to a T. It was Winding Way Videography.
Winding Way Videography.
Who runs it. He seemed so sweet, so nice. And everything was so smooth planning wise. I was pretty simple. I knew what I wanted. Nothing crazy. I bought a larger package, so I should have had a full, almost 20-minute long video.
It's a big boy.
Full raw footage of my vows. I should have had a highlight video for social media because I was really looking forward to featuring all my vendors and all these people, including the videographer, on my social media. And the highlight video was supposed to be like immediately after the wedding so that I could post it while I waited for the full video. Full video was supposed to be like a couple months after the wedding. I had to beg over email time and time again to get anything from my video and did not receive anything until I believe it was January or February. And what I received was not 20 minutes long, had music over it that I had never even been asked about. I was assuming that we would use music that I probably used for my wedding, either me walking down the aisle, my first dance, anything. Was never asked about it, so random music put over it. There's 2 camera angles during my vows, so you would think there's always a good angle. Like if my photographer's in the way of one shot, you would use the other camera. There's like 30 seconds of my photographer standing directly in front of the camera, and you cannot see me or my husband during our ceremony.
This is awful.
It was wild.
We're missing. I dedicated a dance to my deceased father, and that was one of the most important moments of the day for me, and I said that. Not a single second of it is in there. Of course, now I'm gonna get upset.
Yeah, those are the emotional memories you can't get back right there.
Moments that aren't in there. So after I finally received that video, I watched it and I was kind of disappointed, but I was trying to stay positive because I really didn't want a crazy detailed video. I then
so chill.
sent him my edits.
I'd be furious
if
if I
he
was her.
said when he sent the video, he said that he wanted to add some more video to it. He might want to make some more edits. And at the time, he told me he was going through a divorce with his wife, which is horrible. I mean, I literally
But you communicate that
for this vendor. And I told him to take all the time he needed because I know he also has children, and that is terrible to go through. And I pray to God that he was not making that up as a story as to why he was late delivering.
Did you just hear about a makeup story, remember?
Because that would be even worse.
I do remember that.
But I told him to take all the time he needed. At least I had some kind of video to watch. There's also an error message across the entire screen in like bright blue at 2 different points, including my first dance during the video.
So the warp stabilizer error
He
message.
told me he would also deliver the highlight video the next day. Never received that. And since that day, that was the last time I ever had contact with him.
January?
So I haven't spoken to him since January, February, when I got my not completed video.
So this is 3 months later she's even making this.
I discovered last night via Facebook when I was trying to look him up, because I'm now trying to harass him through email, trying to track down his phone number to try and get a hold of him. And I see on Facebook that he is doing this to all of his weddings from last year.
Take him to court.
All of them. There is several people who have not even gotten an inkling of a video, and he has ghosted everybody. He took everyone's money and cannot even give them an answer. Like, at this point, I just want my raw video.
Something.
So I'm gonna wrap this up and do a part 2, because there's much more.
Much more. Jeez.
Okay.
Found him on Instagram. Comments are all turned off.
He is on Instagram.
Yeah. Wedding Way FP. Winding Way FP.
Winding Way FP.
Here's what's crazy. Okay. A lot going on.
A lot to unpack.
Such a chill bride.
I'd be furious if I was her. Yeah.
Like, I'm
just
sure
coming up on a year.
In his perspective are like nagging, but she has every right to, because he promised things. And then for him to deliver in January, like, hey, here it is, but like I'm still gonna do a lot more to it. It's like, well, then why'd you deliver it?
Right.
Don't deliver a half-baked product.
6 months later, right?
I mean, like, his work's not like horrible either. Like,
No.
the videos he's posted.
Well, it sounds like from his package perspective, it sounded like a pretty normal package that a lot of people offer. So what do you have? He had a 20-minute full film.
Dockish edit. Yeah. Highlight.
And that was like a 3-ish month turnaround, which is it's, pretty standard, I'd say, in the industry. And then there was the immediate highlight film, which I'm guessing is the 1 minute social teaser. And then there was the raw footage. So those were the 3 things that she mentioned. So he didn't deliver the highlight, correct? I don't remember her saying anything about that.
I don't think so. I think he gave her half.
Because then,
in the ceremony edit, he gave her that.
In the ceremony edit,
it was all blocked.
Yeah. So as far as his offer, I mean, it sounded pretty standard. It didn't sound like any red flags, I would say.
Winding Way. Get it together, my guy. Right out of the divorce, out of the courthouse, and you're about to be taken to court again.
Well, I was going to say, what's the line? Like, where do you separate your personal from your business, right? Because let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he was getting divorced. Is it is it appropriate for him to bring that into his business and involve brides? Or do you just keep that separate? That's a personal. Because my take is you're running a business, right? Like, let's imagine Jeff Bezos. I know it's extreme. Like,
Sure.
Jeff Bezos getting divorced, Amazon doesn't shut down.
Right.
Anyone who's running a business, I feel like personal business, it shouldn't. You should have your systems in place.
But if you're a one-man
deliver.
team,
And that's where it's kind of like a freelance. You're a freelancer, not
does
a
follow
business
Wedding
owner.
Post House.
Dang, we probably
So
know
Brady?
this guy.
No, here's what's crazy. This guy doesn't follow anybody in our circles. Like anyone that I would like, you should probably be following just to kind of get an inspiration from.
Yeah.
Learn how to be a better wedding videographer. He's not following any of those people, which kind of tells me he doesn't really know how this world works, which tells me he doesn't know how to be professional and how to be a team player vendor because he's not in the circles that we're all in for good or bad to like kind of see what's the social norms, how do we act, how do we treat our clients. There's no any apparent outreach of like I'm trying to better my craft by following people better than me.
Is his stuff unique?
No,
Okay, because that's where I would give a little leeway. Like,
I'd probably pay maybe $1,000 for what he does.
oh, 1,000
Yeah. Is that bad? Sorry, I know pricing is relative.
for a 20-minute delivery and raw
For the
footage?
quality and for
Okay.
yeah, I'd
Okay.
pay probably maybe 2 for the 20-minute
on the upper limit. Okay,
if he's promising a 3-month turnaround time.
yeah. Because I was about to say if he's not following anybody,
This is your logo. You
all right,
know?
the
Like,
logo,
I don't
the
know,
logo
you know,
gives it away a little bit.
Not to be
not
rude
to
here,
be
you guys.
slamming. Yeah, I
But-
mean, I am seeing
We're a
one of
little
the
snobby.
top comments just recently made it said update. He made a post claiming he has handled everything with everybody and that it was all a big lie and people were being dramatic.
Wow, one of those guys.
Okay, well, he's either a terrible person or he's right. There's no in between.
What's her name?
Her name?
Yeah.
It's Callie Stillman Foot, Callie.
That's crazy. Does she have an update?
Is she? I think she did 2 parts. I haven't seen the second part. So, yeah, I was gonna say, at some point there's a level of professionalism where you, even if you are getting a divorce, you need to recognize: are you doing this full time? Are you treating it like a business? And if so, I think you should leave that personal stuff out. You should have systems in
I think
place.
so.
You should have editors. You should have things so that when things go wrong,
Yeah.
you still get your business and your edits delivered in time.
Yes. Or I would say over communicate. So
Correct.
like if like
Correct.
like girls who have babies, I feel like that's over communicated months in advance.
Correct.
Divorce, just letting them know, hey, letting you know. But it's also like if your personal life is interfering, I think that's where it sucks, but it's time to spend money. Like so if I knew that a client deadline was approaching and I couldn't physically do it because I didn't manage my time correctly, it's now my job to honor
make
the
sure it gets
contract
done.
and either pay an editor, bring on someone to help me with my emails, like something,
Yeah.
so that so that I can still please my clients because it's not their problem.
Yeah. The wrong time, the absolute wrong time to communicate something is 6 months past the due date.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. I mean, most clients, it sounds like she was a really chill client. I feel like she would be totally fine if he delivered something at the 4 or 5 month mark, if he was consistently communicating to her, hey, by the way, this is happening. I wasn't expecting it. You know, it's probably going to be a little late. I feel like she would have been like, okay, that's great. Thanks for letting me know. But it's when you're already months past with no word that clients are like, hey, what's going on? Did I get scammed?
Yeah.
And then you hit them with the, hey, by the way, I'm getting divorced. Like, probably going to be another couple
I don't
months.
know if I believe him.
I don't know if I do either.
I don't trust this guy at all.
I don't know,
If you can't be trustworthy with the
Yeah.
contract, I don't believe anything you say.
Yeah.
And also, he said someone said he made a video saying he figured it all out. Everyone's been delivered. Then she did a video about that video and said he's lying. Like,
Really?
Yeah. So she did another video saying, "I just want my video." And yeah. So he
So it
is
sounds
just a
like he's
liar.
lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the comments are turned off. I feel
All
like
comments
that-
turned off. He removed his website from his bio. He's on TikTok.
Well, that's weird because it came from a friend. Usually, friend referrals and personal referrals are pretty trusted vendors, I would say.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to point out I guess,
I don't trust this guy.
that should have been communicated from the bride. Okay, switching gears a little bit. And she's definitely in the right here. She's not in the wrong.
Yeah.
But this one thing I did want to talk about, and that was the expectation of the music that was being used, because it sounded like when she got it back, she's like, yeah, there was a lot of random music being played and this and that. And I was expecting songs that I used during my dances and during my wedding. And that is something that most brides probably, if they do expect that, we need to address it and just say that's not going to happen usually,
awful.
Because there needs to be licensed music, and that needs to be in his contract.
That's the thing. Like, it's still on him. Like,
right.
She's never done this before, so he should be telling her,
communicating
all
it to her.
Like, yeah, this guy sucks at communicating.
Yeah, sounds like
his
he got
website's awful.
Serious.
It's awful.
Does he have a brand?
It's
colors
just like,
or?
It's just like, I don't know. It's just awful.
Mm.
How long would you think he's been doing this? I got the answer here.
All right, I'm going to say 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Was it 12?
No, 8.
8.
It's 2017. When you and I started.
He started. Dang.
Yeah. Crazy the paths you can go on.
It is crazy the paths you can go on.
With just caring about clients and being a pleasure to work with.
And just immersing yourself in the industry and learning from others, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, Dylan, my guy, you got to get it together, bro. If you want any help, we have an online course I think you would greatly benefit from.
Sounds like, yeah, the vow thing with only 2 camera angles. And that's another thing we'll eventually touch on. 2 angles is usually not enough for us because we have 2, which are hero, but then we have our safety. For those cases where something is happening, one is being blocked, you're adjusting another, you need a third or even a fourth. It's just the safety angle that's always rolling. It can be super wide, doesn't have to be tight. That's when you need that third camera.
He has his phone number on his Facebook page.
Does he really?
We're about to call him live.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
I think you should.
Should I?
What's his name?
No, I'm not going to call him Dylan.
That would have been crazy.
He deleted his YouTube channel. I can't find him.
Dang.
Yeah, his phone number's there. 607-215-3341.
Well, now everybody knows. I guess it was public anyway.
So he's always open, always booking.
Dang. Where's he located? East Coast?
New York, upstate.
New York, upstate.
That's funny.
Dang. Well, it's those videographers that ruin it for the public perception of other videographers.
So sad. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
Hope she gets her raw footage.
I hope she got the raw footage.
Hope she also knows if she sees this that there are so many talented editors who would love to take a crack at your video if you can just somehow get that footage.
Yeah.
And I also hope there's a contract in place because you're really dead in the water if there's no contract in place.
Right.
Because then it's just he said, she said. If there's no written agreement of what they're delivering and what you are being promised and paying for, that's where it's kind of on you.
Yeah.
You know?
This is one of those things where brides, they need to hire a wedding planner.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it sounds like she did it all herself. There's a lot of things moving around, a lot of moving pieces. And the videographer coming through on their contract, when you're worried about the florist and the photographer, venue, it's kind of the last thing on your mind. It's easy for things to slip by.
Yeah.
I think brides should always hire a wedding planner because also, if you hire the wedding planner who's trusted, a wedding planner is going to hire a trusted videographer for the most part.
Yeah.
So now you only have to worry about hiring one specific trustworthy vendor, the wedding planner, and then everything else follows suit.
Yeah. Our friend Sam he's getting married this year, and first vendor he booked was a wedding planner.
Yeah.
So I just know he's in our world, and I know what happens when you don't.
Yeah.
So I just want someone to take the burden off me.
Yeah.
And now him and his fiance can actually, soon to be fiance,
Still hasn't proposed.
Can actually enjoy a lot less stress leading up to the wedding day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
Anything else you got to say about this?
No, just sad. Winding
just
way.
sad.
You suck.
Come on, man. Step it up. Step it up. All right, let's go to the next one.
I'm just a believer, if it's a lie, then you don't turn off comments and delete your website bio.
That's kind of the red flag.
It's just like, if you're guilty, you hire a lawyer. You
Very
know what I mean? It's just
vindictive, yeah.
It's just obvious.
Okay, Jacob, do you want to know one of the most expensive mistakes most filmmakers are making right now?
I'm all ears.
Please. I've been thinking about this a lot lately.
Lay it on me.
But I think it's settling for just royalty-free generic music.
Corporate jingles.
Exactly. But here's why. It's because some people might think, oh, well, like if I go to another platform, it costs hundreds of dollars.
Sure.
I just go to Google and type in commercial project licensed song and I pay
Ed
20
Sheeran,
bucks.
something.
Right. They pay like 20 bucks for a generic track.
Gotcha.
And this is the issue though, because when you use something really generic like that, you feel that in the edit. Okay. You throw it in there, whether it's commercial, whether it's wedding. People notice that and it doesn't elevate your project. So I say it's the most expensive mistake because I would argue when you use hand-picked, curated vibes like MusicBed, which is what we're using.
Bespoke.
That's a great way of describing it. When you use those sorts of tracks, you're elevating your project, people notice, and they're willing to invest more money into your craft.
Yeah. Well, let me just ask videographers this.
Please.
Do you want a generic cookie cutter, bland, rinse and repeat video that just becomes part of the noise in this industry? Or do you want to stand out and offer your clients a custom tailored experience that really highlights their emotions, their vibes, and their personalities and their wedding? And for me, the only way to do that and to draw the emotion that was on the wedding day out and not make it feel like just some generic music video is to have music that really highlights the couple's personalities and is custom tailored to them.
Agree.
And I feel like the only place I can find that variety and find that customization and find the lyrical and the instrumental, real artists making real emotional music is on MusicBed. You get what you pay for.
Correct.
And in this business, we're telling our clients to invest in us. We should invest in our businesses as well. And I think the easiest investment, and I will say the word easiest investment that our business makes every single month is MusicBed.
Correct. I agree. So yeah, while it might cost more, and I put that in quotes, okay? Because it costs more maybe than generic royalty-free music, but that's because it actually works.
Yeah.
That's because it's actually going to make you money in the long term.
Do you want gas station cola or classic Coke?
You want classic.
Pay for it.
Yeah, you want the Mexican Coke in the glass bottle.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what MusicBed is, okay? So we've said it once, we've said it again. We've been using MusicBed for 8 years now, 9 years, and it's one of the best investments we've ever made. So if you are still on the fence about MusicBed, there will be a link in the description. Click on it, get your 14-day free trial. All right, let's go to the next one.
I'm a former Taco Bell.
I got to skip through my
POV. I'm a former
Taco Bell.
Okay,
Sorry, there we go.
I am making this video to hopefully share
Oh, same
some
story.
light on
This is a different one.
wedding
Like,
vendors,
same.
but also just your girl needs help. Basically, our videographer ghosted us.
That's so
and
sad.
I've already cried about it. I'm not going to cry anymore. It's actually insane, the experience that we've had. Basically, our wedding videographer was a friend of a friend. I posted
girls
on
talk
my
like
Instagram
this?
story when I was wedding planning that I wasn't going to have a wedding videographer because I hired an iPhone creator, and I was like, you know what, like, let's just save some money and
Not an
I'm just
Android
not gonna
creator.
have a
Interesting.
wedding videographer.
Did she say
And
iPhone?
this friend of a friend, he slid up and he was like, oh my gosh, like, you have to have a wedding videographer. Let
Correct.
me do it. And we agreed on a collaboration, but I still had to pay
Oh,
for his
well.
travel and a second shooter. And a
There's a
week before
twist.
the wedding, he added
a
on
good
a
deal.
third shooter.
Oh.
And we had to pay for all of their meals, and the venue was not cheap for meals. So we were out a decent amount of money still, even though it was a collaboration. Our videographer was very responsive the whole engagement season. Like, he would send inspo, I would send him inspo, and he'd be like, I love that, I can do that. He agreed to, like, make social media clips for TikTok.
It's a collaboration.
And
You
socials.
pay out of pocket for
I
your
had no
second
weird
shooter.
feeling about
Yeah.
him ever. Wedding day, like, he was great and everything. And then we go on our honeymoon, and then we get back, and we haven't heard from him. And, like, I know that video takes a long time. I've shot weddings as a photographer. I know it is not a quick turnaround time, especially in the summer. Like,
Wait, you're a vendor and you
wedding
didn't know a
vendors
good
are so
videographer?
I was
busy.
about to
So
say.
I completely understand. And I was trying to be patient, and then
Probably
it
a
got
gorgeous
around,
wedding.
I think, the 8 or 9 week mark, and my photographer was about to send our gallery, and I was
8 or
like, I
9
need
week?
to check in
When was
because
this video
I
posted?
texted him, and he doesn't
October
respond.
2024.
He doesn't even look at my stories anymore. Like, I feel like he's just nowhere to be found, and I kind of was starting to get this uneasy feeling. And I text him, and I'm like, hey, like, Literally no rush. I was just wondering, like, do you happen to have like an update on when our video will be done? And this guy knows that I do social media for a living. Like, that's so important to me to have this wedding video,
Yeah,
this content.
content.
He said, oh yeah, I got you. I'll send it in a couple days. He texts us that, and then sure enough, he didn't send it and never provided an update in a couple days. And then it hit the 10-week mark and the 11-week mark and the 12-week mark, and he kept making up excuses like, oh, my baby was sick, and oh, it was our
Yeah,
anniversary.
Personal.
Don't agree
And
with this, man.
those are totally valid things, but
They're
like
not,
there's
though.
been no communication, no update at all. So like, bro, like give me some update. And he said, latest you could get it is 16 weeks. He basically told
4
us
months?
like 16 weeks is the latest that he sends a video for a wedding, which I think is pretty long. But I was like, okay, let's wait till
Relative.
16 weeks.
All right,
Like,
Maddie.
let's just give him his
We got some
space
words.
and 16 weeks.
4
Like, that's
months?
the latest deadline that he gave us. Did not hear a word from him at
Yikes.
the 16-week mark. I have called him. I have texted him. My husband has called him
Dude,
and
you
texted
give yourself an
him.
extra 4
My
weeks.
dad, who
You can knock it
paid
out in 2
for
days.
the travel, the second shooter, all those things, texted him and called him, didn't answer. He has not answered any of us.
Oh, no.
And we even hired an attorney to call him, and he sent an email as well, and he has not even answered the attorney. I am at a loss of what to
Dude
do.
is
That's-
ghosting everybody,
Our
man.
attorney is working on it, and of course he knows way more than we do. But
Doesn't have a
I am
contract in
just,
place,
like,
though.
baffled that there is a wedding vendor out there that is willing to document the most special day of someone's life, and then you don't deliver what you documented, and on top of that, you leave the bride and the groom and the family uneasy. You don't communicate, you don't hold up to your promises or your deadline, and you ghost them, and you don't provide a wedding video. Like, it's insane. If anyone is in law or anyone has any tips, I mean, it is actually crazy. He also deleted his wedding videography Instagram, or maybe
No,
he,
it's
like,
over.
muted it.
He's
for
gone.
A bit. Like,
It's
I know
over.
you
Your
can,
footage is
pause
gone.
your
It's over,
account.
It's
Maddie.
over.
I don't know. It's just nuts. Like, this guy has like a family. He serves at his church for videography.
Doesn't
For
mean
anyone
he's a
asks,
good
yes,
guy.
we did have a contract, and that's why it's even more ridiculous, because we have a contract that he would deliver his video.
Oh.
I just don't even know what to do anymore, and we're
Slap
just
down
trusting
that
that
lawsuit.
the Lord and the attorney are going to figure it out for us, and any tips would be appreciated. Really look into your wedding vendors and make sure that they are reliable and trustworthy, and that people have had great experiences with them.
That's so sad.
Amen to that last thing, though. Well,
Not to.
well,
Yeah. Yes.
look into a
agreed.
good wedding planner.
Well, agreed. But I'm like, you're in the industry. You know
That's the
this.
surprising part. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. It's not her fault. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, you
should
more
know.
than anyone should be aware that there are like just slimy people out there.
yeah.
And if you're not from the wedding or shot a wedding with a good videographer, and like, I want to use them.
Because she
Contracts.
used to be a photographer, and now she sounds like she does social media managing. I'm guessing, but yeah, still she's in the world.
That's so sad.
She should know that. But yeah, I think I'm just tired because first of all, good on you. For those who don't know, Jake left every single Facebook group, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did, and I respect that because
All, except for our own.
yeah, I respect that.
We're doing weddings.
Yeah, join it. There'll be a link.
Link below.
And I respect that because I feel like every single day, all I see in these groups are people complaining about how videographers aren't being treated professionally. We're seen as the bottom of the food chain. How are photographers charging more than us? Blah, 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 blah. And it's things like this where we can't expect to be treated as professionals until we treat our own business as professionals. Like this guy is just joking around. It seems like, hey, I slid up on a DM. Yeah, like let's do a collaboration. Doesn't deliver. He appeals to personal problems going on in his life for why he's not delivering or communicating. Like treat it as a professional business, man. Like just treat it well so that we can all be treated as professionals.
Did you drop his name?
No, she didn't.
I don't get that. Drop the name.
Yeah, I think if you have
Let
that
the
bad of an
hate spread.
experience. Yeah, if you have that bad of an experience, I think drop the name. Save a couple of people.
I mean, he deleted his account, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's just slimy. I think this is why people have trust issues. I think that's why people ask for payments to be after videos delivered. And if
That's a good point.
we don't like offer that, but like if a bride asks for that, I will always oblige. I don't like lead with it.
To pay after the wedding?
If they ask for that and say, hey, can we customize our payment plan so we pay you upfront, retainer, and then can we pay after this delivered because of, horror stories? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you've heard horror stories, I don't want you to ever think that I'm slimy, and I will accommodate you, and then deliver with like a watermark on it and say, hey, here it is.
Right.
Once I receive that payment, I'll send you the unwatermarked version.
Right.
Or send like a 1080p version, so I'll send you a 4K.
Which is something we learned from Adam Grumbo.
Yeah, I'm like, but like if they ask for that, I'm like, yes, like, but that's why they ask is these stories because they don't. And I think I felt that way before, like starting this industry. Once payment comes in, I work. It's like I don't currently, but I used to like. It's harder to work when you feel like you've already been paid.
Yeah,
like now it's like if we get paid first, we know that it's just different. But like I see why these guys get paid. And then they do the work and they think, I just don't want to edit it because I've already made the money into my account. I've spent it.
right.
Now I'm just slaving away on the editing room. It's like, well, spend 2 days and edit this video. That's all
Knock it out.
takes.
Get it off your plate.
If you're slow, a week.
Yeah.
Right?
And if this guy has any conscious, if he has any conscious, I don't know, one of those.
Conscience. Like
Because the
Jiminy
conscience
Cricket.
is the one speaking to you, right?
He has a Jiminy Cricket.
Because your conscience is inside speaking to you, but your conscious is
Awake.
how you feel, right?
Now you're
So
awake. You're conscious. Wait, now you're cautious. That's being careful.
if this guy has any
Awareness.
conscience,
I usually just
if he
change
has
the
any,
word I'm
I
not
usually
feeling it.
just divert completely.
Yeah, I usually just find the nearest synonym. Synonym?
If
The
this guy
nearest
has
similar word.
any sympathy at all, I imagine that edit is kind of sitting on his shoulders.
He's a churchgoer.
I was about to say this shouldn't
Why
be
don't
a
you
hot
burn
take.
in
This shouldn't be a hot take, but maybe it is. Just because somebody is religious
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're a good vendor, doesn't mean they're trustworthy. And I think we need to talk about that.
Yeah, not all religion is toxic. And just because you don't have a religion doesn't mean you're by default a better person either.
Right. It's true. I just see, and no hate to it. I totally get it. But there are a lot of vendors who lean, and if that's like the market you want to serve, like if you, let's say you're Christian, if you only want to film, Christian couples and your branding is centered around Jesus and all that.
Sure.
Great. That's fine. But I think that some vendors kind of rely on that to build credibility and trustworthy. Like, hey, look at me. I'm a Christian. I'm religious, whatever. And that makes people feel a little more trustworthy. It sounds like that's what this guy did. He worked at his church.
WWJD. All right.
What would
Like,
Jake do?
Yeah. Not this. That's so sad. I feel bad for her.
I do too.
I hope she gets her footage. If you get your footage, send it to us. We'll help you out.
Yeah, we'll edit it for you.
We'll help you out. That's so sad.
That'd actually that'd be a
I
cool
wouldn't
story.
mind. I really wouldn't
That'd
mind.
be a really cool story if someone sent us their footage and we just edited it.
wouldn't mind.
Boom. Yeah. Maddie, send us your footage. Sounds like it was a...
Get the footage.
Yeah. Get the footage first off and then send it.
We will happily edit it for
Yeah.
you. That's horrible.
Sounds like it was a collaboration.
That's so sad.
I think I have one more.
Great.
Okay, I need some help here because my
What's her name?
sister booked a wedding
Her sister,
videographer
it's
and got
Gabriella
married August 19th of 2023 and
L. Nikki.
he came to the wedding, recorded everything, and he has completely ghosted us. So we have no video. Honestly, our biggest fear is that the video content has been lost or it got destroyed in travel. And we just do not know what to do at this point. We have reached out via text, phone call, left voicemails. I've DM'd on Instagram. We've sent countless emails following up, asking when the video is going to be delivered to us. Also, I want to preface this by saying we have asked to make sure that he is okay. He still posts
Being
on
way
his
too
stories.
considerate.
We
Very
see him in
considerate.
other people's stories, so we know that he is okay. Well, for the most part, he
We know
is
he's alive.
living and
He's living.
still, thank goodness he's still with us. We were
Very
promised a
considerate.
teaser
Thank
video
goodness.
a week after the wedding.
They were
So
promised
August
that?
19th, we should have had it by the end of August. And then the full video 10 to 15 weeks after the wedding, which would have been the beginning of December. and we obviously have nothing. And
date is this posted?
through our research
This was
and just
April
trying to
of
figure this whole thing
2024.
out, we did reach out to another bride,
So it was probably
another
2023 that
couple,
happened.
and just to
months
see
later.
if they had any similarities. And they said that they were also ghosted for 6 months, and
Drop the
for
name.
whatever reason,
Drop
he
the name.
responded after 6 months of trying, right before they were about to threaten legal action, and sent the video. So we do still have hope that he does have the video, but I don't even know what to do from this point forward. We are just so at a loss and heartbroken. So if you guys have any legal advice, if anyone's been through this before and figured it out, can you please let me know what you did? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So it seems like the overarching theme is the biggest problem people have with videographers, they ghost them.
Yeah.
They just don't deliver after their 3 or 4 month mark, and then they just call it a wash. What? They just disappear, assume the bride and groom's just going to forget about it.
Hire a hitman at this point.
Hire a hitman, hire a
so
private
awful.
investigator. The top comment right here is actually pretty funny. It says, "Happened to me and my husband. It was released real quick once we threatened to go to small claims court. Alternatively, email his mom."
Dang.
Get the mom involved.
That's crazy.
That Catherine, you're unhinged. She went down the rabbit hole and found the vendor's mom.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what you do.
I think small claims is probably the best bet. It is kind of hard.
Yeah.
It depends if there's a contract in place. If there's no contract, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, we just over communicate. And there's definitely been a few clients where we've been pushed back on the delivery because it's our busy season. But we're over communicating that to them and saying, hey, just letting you know, here's what's going on. It's going to be a few weeks late. Should be by this time. And then the times where it's gone way over, like there was one time we had a crazy backlog and we were over communicating. And it was like probably like a month past when I said it would be done. And so I edited like 3 extra things for them. I made a ceremony edit, a toast edit, another social media edit, just as a way of saying sorry.
You
know,
over delivered.
yeah, just saying, you know what, like I'm sorry making you wait. Here's like basically $2,000 of extra editing value, free of charge for you, or make your film longer, better. So I don't know. I think it's on you to do that. Now the part of our contract, which is interesting, is we say we will deliver within 12 weeks. But we also reserve the right to take longer, which I think it's the honor system of like, well, if we're trustworthy, we've never had to like enact that.
Yeah.
But like, I still want to be covered that like if I need to take longer or if I'm not happy with it, I'm going to send like a sound guy to clean the audio.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a few weeks and I don't feel contractually obligated to like cancel, I don't know. So I think you should be covered by that, but not as like an escape clause, because it's still like in our contract, it still has like a loop that like we can't just use that to deliver years later.
Right.
So I don't know. I think these contracts are just like crappy.
Well, in that case too, like if you did have to send it to a sound guy, most couples are pretty understanding.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to make your film the best it can
We
be.
actually just told Tara that.
Right.
Her video was a few weeks late, and I said, letting you know, I'm sending it off to KEJ. I was like, I'm just not happy with the sound. I sent it to a professional mixer. I want this to be as good as possible for you. And she really appreciated that.
Yeah.
And she's okay, happy to, I'll wait. And so, but yeah, again, over communicating. And also, like, what's the worst thing you can do as a videographer is promise and then not deliver.
Exactly.
Like, we love to give clients things a week after, within a week, a day, a week, so that they can hold off and be held over until we deliver the full film.
Right.
But don't promise that and then don't do it.
Right.
Because then it just makes the wait longer. And then the longer you wait, the more expectations you have for your video and the higher chances of them being disappointed.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah.
And we know some videographers who charge or who edit within 9 months to a year, and they stand by that. But I'm sure they over communicate that to their clients.
And
the
their
clients
couples
know
are
what they're getting
happy.
into,
Yeah, and their couples are happy because it is. I mean, that's just kind of the key tone of this whole episode. Over communicate.
Yeah.
Over deliver.
Yeah. Like for example, like we say 12 weeks, but we aim for 10.
Right.
And I think whether you're telling a client, hey, your video's being done in a week, a month, 9 months, or a year, if you hit that date, everyone's happy because you've communicated it. But where the issue is, if you say it's 9 months and then you deliver at 10, all of a sudden it's just
Yeah.
disappointed, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think we've all been in that situation where we're late on delivering something and you feel awkward, you feel that burden. The simple solution, well, not simple solution, but the least you can do
The
is
low-hanging
give.
fruit.
I might be able to let that one slide. I might let that one because I was about to say
Please.
you already have all the footage sifted.
Right.
The low hanging fruit is just export it and you can give them a FOMO edit.
No, it's a good point.
You can you literally
Nathan,
click
that
a
is a
button.
textbook definition of low-hanging
I'm
fruit.
glad we circled back around to the low hanging fruit.
Okay, textbook definition of low-hanging fruit to hold a client over is a ceremony edit to me.
Great.
How long does it take us to make a ceremony edit?
Well, it's already
An
sifted.
hour.
It's already sifted.
Right. But like just think about like multicam syncing, cutting angles. How long would it take you to do a ceremony edit?
Not that long.
Maybe an hour,
Yeah.
right? So comparing
Right.
that to like a week or two of doing
Right.
9 to 5 editing a full highlight film,
Right.
that to me is a good example of a low-hanging fruit where it's like, okay, I don't have time to like make a teaser today or a full film, but they're dying for something and I'm late on my backlog, so I'm going to give them a free ceremony edit.
Sure.
That to me is a low-hanging fruit
Export.
project, yeah, to say, take accountability. I'm sorry. Here's this for free.
Right.
You're gonna love your film.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just go the extra mile.
That's why I like these stories. I'd like for there to be some,
resolution.
yeah, of just them saying, like owning up to it and saying, you know what, you're right. Here's way more than you paid for.
Yeah. I think it was the previous story. I don't know why I'm just remembering. I got a lot of beef with that videographer who slid up on the collaboration and then had the bride pay for the second shooter and the third
Yeah.
shooter and transportation.
Yeah.
When you slid up and said, hey, let's do a collab, and you volunteered to do that,
Yeah.
you're kind of saying, hey, I'll work for exposure,
Yeah.
which do it if you want.
Yeah.
But then how did that conversation happen where he said, by the way, second videographer is coming. Here's a third
Maybe.
one. Transportation.
In his defense, maybe she's painting it in a bad light. And he said, yep, I'll give you my services for free, cover my travel. And she said, okay. And then he's like, oh, if you want a la carte options, you have to pay for those.
Second,
That's what we do
third.
with collabs. You know, if you want longer edit, you have to pay for that. But like, here's what the collaboration gets you for free. Maybe a 5-minute film, one shooter, 8 hours. If you want more than that, you have to pay for it. And
Right.
maybe she saw those.
Maybe.
And she said he had to. I'm like, well, maybe you chose that. I don't know.
She said a week before the wedding, he added on a third shooter,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're paying for another person.
Yeah.
Do it with two.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, guys, don't ghost people.
over communicate, over deliver, and your business will be just fine. And also don't bring the personal stuff into
Yeah.
the business.
I don't care how sick your baby is. I do. You can still get it
Yeah, you can still get it out. Treat your business like a business. Well, I guess this was kind of like a
written by you TikTok.
it was kind of like a written by you. It's kind of like a different type of written by you, written by the mass audience.
And I'm sad we only got one of the videographers' names. Winding Way. And
I think others should be dropped.
yeah. Too sad. Too sad. All right, you guys. Well, if you want to submit your stories, we'll read them, react. And if you have any TikToks that we should be watching, send them to us.
And if you're any of these brides, send us the footage.
Yeah,
if you get
if
the
you can get it.
footage, send us
Love
the
to
footage.
help you out. At the very least, make you a really cool teaser.
Something,
Yeah.
because that's terrible.
We'd be happy to.
Yeah. All right.
Ghost them. Kidding.
The ultimate bamboozle.
Delete everything.
Great. Yeah, we won't do that. I promise.
I'm joking.
I
I'm
promise.
joking. All right, guys.
See you next time.